Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are on the Natchez Trace and we found a historic stop that kind of piqued my interest. Now the Natchez Trace is a huge roadway and you can see it right here. You can see that there are stops along this roadway that tell the story of America basically. There are little stops along the way that tell you about the farming or the transit or the people, and today this is one of those. This is actually a home that is one of the last remaining structures here from the original piece of the Natchez Trace. And so we're going to be going and checking this out, but we're also going to be learning a little bit of history of the home itself, and I'm going to share it with you. Let's go. Today we are going to tell the tale of the Gordon home. One of the few remaining buildings associated with the old Natchez Trace is the house of the ferry operator. His name was John Gordon, and in the early 1800s Gordon made an agreement with the Chickasaw chief George Colbert to operate a trading post and a ferry along the Duck River. Now at the time he was actually called away many times from the construction of this property, and his wife would have to oversee everything. And after he finished his service with the military with Andrew Jackson, he was able to return to this site and actually fulfill his duties as the ferry operator. And his wife went on to live well past him and take care of this property until 1859. As you can imagine, history should be accessible to us all, so they've making a lot of different concessions for us, including having bathrooms here at the trailhead, and so you can kind of meander around and also get some information on some sign kiosks that are right over here right off of the trace. For example, we learn here that the Gordon house is at milepost 407.7, and we won't have another restroom until either 427.6 or 385.9. But additionally, we learn here that there are 444 miles of the Natchez Trace, and along those you find so many cool things, from waterfalls to campgrounds to historic stops to the old roadway itself. And along this way you can find a map right here at this kiosk, but also some additional information about the Gordon home, and then a few other cool things over here that are in this area. Riley and Tyson are leading the way, and you can see the home is right over there, so it's a very short handicap accessible walk to the home itself. Having trails that are handicap accessible makes sure that all of us can learn a little bit from history. In fact, by learning history, we learn from the past to make better tomorrows. That's what I always say here on the channel. So as we get closer, this is only going to get better and better. So let me tell you the story of this home and why it's significant. Now the sign at the home itself is a little worse for wear, but you can get the context at the first part if you stop off at that kiosk. Definitely worth it to put this into perspective as to who lived here, why they lived here, and why this building was so important. The brick home of Captain John Gordon and his family was built in 1818 and was one of the more impressive homes in the area. It was a landmark for travelers of the old Trace, letting them know that they soon would be in the Nashville, Tennessee area. But additionally it provided simple human comforts that couldn't be found in the weeks and weeks of walking the rustic trail. The Gordon family called it home, but it was a business as well. The ferry provided a safe way for travelers and locals alike to cross the Duck River, and the grounds provided boatmen who were on their way a place to stay for the night. There is a trail on site that is 1/2 mile. It's unpaved and it leads directly to the Duck River, where the ferry site once stood. The Gordon house is one of only 2 remaining buildings from the historic boatman era between 1780 and 1820s on the parkway. Anyway, as we make our way back toward the vans, you can see that beautiful trail leads you to where the ferry once stood. Now, the ferry's not there anymore. They just have the little area that you can go to learn a little bit more about it. It's a primitive trail, so that part is not handicap accessible. However, this part is, and it is absolutely fabulous. We thoroughly enjoyed being able to explore around the perimeter. It's not open, but I would like to think that in the future maybe they would open it up again. I don't know. It's not in the greatest of shape. I was able to peek in one of the windows and it looked pretty rugged inside. So, you know, if you see anything here whenever you're checking it out that doesn't say closed, let me know in the comments and I'll come back and revisit, because this was fun. Now that we've made it back, that was a great walk down with some little brain wrinkles. I know this video is not the longest, but sometimes just grabbing a few little nuggets here and there is definitely worth it. Remember, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time, and there's miles of this highway that you can have a good time on. So I definitely encourage you guys to check out not only the places we've stopped on this trip, but the others as well. Until next time, guys, bye!